Board of Commissioners regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, December 9th, and the time is 6 p.m. Madam Vice Mayor, will you please lead us in this evening's invocation?
Yes. Dear Lord, inspire us to interact with others in a spirit of fairness, integrity, and mutual respect, knowing that working together, everyone will achieve more. Amen.
Amen.
Please remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Here.
Commissioner Lister?
Here.
Commissioner Poe?
Here.
Commissioner Shantz? Here. Mayor Palladino?
Here. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval for the provided minutes.
Also move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any corrections? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. At this time, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
I so move, Mr. Chairman. I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion of the agenda? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. Next presentations. Fire Chief Darrell O'Neill. Fire Chief O'Neill, we have a presentation to make this evening.
Mr. Mayor, we do. It's my pleasure to be here with you tonight, number one, but also to announce the latest promotions within your Mid-Air Beach Fire Department. Mr. Mayor, if you would please come down and assist me with pinning our newly promoted personnel. If the following personnel would come up front when I announce your name. Firefighter paramedic Andrew Childers, who's being promoted to the rank of lieutenant paramedic. Also being promoted to the position of driver engineer will be Brian Autry. Ryan Roberts. And last but not least, George Hill. These gentlemen did an outstanding job with the promotional process that they went through. And it's interesting to note that all the personnel that belong to the Mid-Air Beach Fire Department are advanced life support trained. That means they can do everything for you as far as cardiac arrest and problems of those natures, same as they do on ambulances. So without further ado, Mr. Mayor.
Chief, if you don't mind, I know we want to move along here, but ladies and gentlemen, these gentlemen tonight, I sit on the EMS Advisory Board for Pinellas County. There were several tests done in this county for drivers, lieutenants, and I'm proud to announce the Madeira Beach Fire Department scored the highest scores for drivers and lieutenants in Pinellas County. Something to be proud of. Your Madeira Beach Fire Department. Lieutenant Childers, congratulations. You are now And one thing I know the families are wanting to leave, as they're leaving, I'm going to say a few more things. Also to not only our fire department, but all the employees of the city of Madeira Beach, the staff, sanitation, our people at the marina, parks, what they have done this last year to help and elevate the city of Madeira Beach is outstanding. As residents, we should be very, very proud because the quality of living here in our city has just gone through the roof. So to all of y'all, the fire department and all the employees and staff, thank you very much from your commission, your mayor, and the residents of the city of Madeira Beach. You can proceed. I'll hand you the gavel, actually. You too. Mr. the Vice Mayor, this is your presentation. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a presentation also, long overdue. This individual represents a company that has served Pinellas County and throughout the state of Florida for over 30 years. Here in Madeira Beach, if you live on the water, chances are 99% that your dock or deck was built by them. Recently, the beach walkovers were one of the many projects along with the city's seawall repairs, new boat lifts at the marina, and the new aluminum floating docks at the gas pumps in the marina. And what would our 4th of July celebration be without a barge to shoot off the fireworks? Well, there were times as the date got close. The city manager, Shane, and also Dave at Central Services were on edge, to say the least. Not sure if the barge was going to be available for the time that we needed, but we were never disappointed. And as the time frame worked closer, and as the time got closer, the working situation became available for us to use the barge. We have a true civic leader, a resident who you always can count on, a good neighbor, and he calls Madeira Beach home. My presentation, The Key to the City, is awarded to Doug Spieler with Spieler Enterprise.
I'd like to say, Nancy, I can't think of a resident that more deserves that than Doug Spieler. I've known Doug. We've known each other way before I even thought about doing this. And you have always been an outstanding resident. You've always been there for this community. And since I've been the mayor and the vice mayor have said some of the projects that you stepped up, you said, we're not worried about making money. I live in this city, and I want to give back to the city. So, Doug, thank you very much from the city of Madeira Beach and your commission. All right, next, public comment. This section is reserved for public comments on matters or concern pertaining to city business and which are not on the agenda. Public comment is limited to 3 minutes. Would anybody like to speak this evening? No closing public comment. Yes, sir, Mr. Spieler. You can't come up and brag on your son.
I do that regularly. I want to thank you all for this prestigious award that you've given him tonight. He's worked very hard for it, and he loves this city. And he really likes this commission and works well with all of you and vice versa. I'd like to say something that I said earlier last year. I don't think there's anybody in this commission room that can remember years ago, except Pat, what it used to be like to come before this commission. I'd come before this commission when I was a kid, scared to death. In fact, one night, there was an electrical contractor here. You remember probably Randy Poucher, who was a dear friend of mine, much older than I, but something didn't go his way, and he got up and threatened to sue each and every one of the commissioners and the mayor and the city manager at that time, right before I had my presentation. And it absolutely terrified me. I did get mine through. But I just want to say what a pleasure it is to deal with this city now. And by comparison, it's like day and night. Shane Crawford and the staff that he has and all of you are just wonderful to work with. And it's a pleasure to be a contractor that works in this area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Spieler, Sr. Would anyone else like to speak before I close public comment? Okay. At this time, I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
I so move, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Is there any discussion from the commission? Is there any further discussion? Mr. City Manager Pro Tem, is there any comments from staff?
No comments from staff.
Would the city clerk Pro Tem, would the city clerk please call the roll?
Certainly. Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. Next, unfinished business, ordinance 2014-15. Mr. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, ordinance 2014-15, an ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending the City of Madeira Beach Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Administration, Article 3, Division 2, Planning Commission, Section 2-77G, Organization, pertaining to meeting dates, Section 2-78C, Conduct of Hearing pertaining to notification requirements, Article 8, Special Magistrate, Section 2-503C, Conduct of Hearing pertaining to notification requirements, Chapter 82, General Provisions, Section 82-2, Definitions, providing for the terms abutting, adjoining, and contiguous, providing for reading by title only, providing for severability, providing for repeal of ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date. That was the second and final reading of ordinance 2014-15 by title only.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that ordinance 2014-15 be passed on the second and final reading. I second.
A motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion amongst the commission? Is there any comments from staff, Mr. City Manager Pro Tem?
No, staff recommends approval.
Is there any further comment? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. Next, new business, public hearing. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, this is an application for a CMB 2COP alcoholic beverage permit pursuant to City Code Section 110-532. Consideration of alcoholic beverage application for the Mad Beechcraft Brewing Company at 12,945 Village Boulevard here in Madeira Beach. They're seeking to expand to include a 150-seat tap room for the on-premise consumption of beer and wine on the second floor of the building. The craft brewing is located on the first floor of the building. The subject property is located in the C1 Tourist Commercial Zoning District. Pursuant to Section 110-532 of your code, you're supposed to consider 4 or 5 different provisions of the code. I'm just going to read them briefly. The first one is the extent in which the location and the extent of which the proposed alcoholic beverage request will adversely affect the character of the existing neighborhood. Number 2, the extent of which traffic generated as a result of the location of the proposed alcoholic beverage request will create congestion or present a safety hazard. At number 3, whether or not the proposed use is compatible with a particular location for which it is proposed. Number 4, whether or not the proposed use will adversely affect the public safety. You are not to review the application until the applicant has paid all the fees that are outstanding, for example, for any interest, fees, penalties, code enforcement fines, and the like. Therefore, if you make a determination that the application or the applicant will not affect the character of the existing neighborhood, will not create a congestion or present a safety hazard, is compatible with the location proposed, and the proposed use will not affect the public safety, you should approve this application. The city staff, by way of Lynn Rossetti, the zoning director, has provided you with a response to each one of those particular considerations for you to review. City staff recommends authorization of this alcoholic beverage permit, and we're asking for a motion to approve the application. Any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. This does require a public hearing.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
all have a little bit of concern over the parking.
We need to have a motion
Gotta have a
before we
motion
have
before you have,
discussion.
before you have a conversation.
Okay, then I'll make the motion on the public hearing and
Second.
CMV to call.
Okay, motion's been made and second. Is there any discussion amongst the commission? Commissioner Poe?
No, if we're gonna have a public hearing, I'll save it for that time.
Okay. Any other commissioner have any comment before I move on for public comment? At this time, I will open up the floor for public comment.
Good evening. My name is Matthew Powers, for those of you that know me. Though my license says I live in Largo, I'd say I really live at 12945 Village Boulevard in the heart of Johns Pass, a.k.a. the Florida Winery, and I'm happy to say hopefully soon Mad Beach Craft Brewing Company. For those that aren't aware of what we've been doing, we've been there 6 years now, making wine, small batch wines, artisanal wines, handcrafted wines. We've won over 50 awards and medals. You can do wine tasting, sit outside and enjoy a glass of wine in the wonderful Madeira Beach weather. And we had zero issues doing that. I've been the one behind all those wines all those years, and don't tell anyone, but I don't even like wine that much. But I do love beer. And for those of you that aren't aware, craft beer is a huge growing industry. It's not your Bud Light, let's have a party and get drunk thing. It's a hang out and talk to friends, much like enjoying a fancy glass of wine it is with beer. There's different flavors you can pick out. There's different styles. Everyone has their own. The last year and a half, I put my sweat, blood, and I'm not too manly to say plenty of tears into this project upstairs, gutting 7 old units, raising ceilings, reinforcing floors, brewing and drinking plenty of beer to make sure we have something worthy of the destination we're creating. We're in the heart of Johns Pass. You know, everyone here knows what Johns Pass is. It's one of the biggest tourist attractions in the area, and we will play well with that, but even more so will be something for locals to come to. Our build-out has been designed specifically in this day and age where most people interact via phones and computers to be a place where people can hang out and socially interact with each other, having a beer with a neighbor, playing a game of pool, watching live entertainment, which I may say is inside, so there's no, sound ordinance issues. We'll bring in comedians. We'll bring in, it's a venue as much as it is a tap room. It's a meeting space. It's a million and one things because it takes you back to the old days of the public house. It's hard to explain what it is. You have to come out and see it. I know many of you have. I'm open to any questions on how this can affect or impact anything.
Mr. Powers, and I know I've had this discussion with you. I've been able to sit on the Tourist Development Council for Pinellas County for the last 2 years. So I know the CVB has been pushing these. There's tours going around. They've been popping up around Pinellas County. It's become a large tourism industry here in Pinellas County. So I know you looked into that because I had a discussion with you before you spent $2 million into a project like this. It's not, it's more looking at to bringing people in, and tourism is when I always looked at it from the beginning. I've looked how the county has been promoting these things. I've been to several around the county. I've been on the tours, and I've got to admit, yours is probably one of the top 5 in nice places that I've been to on a microbrewery.
Thank you.
Does any other commissioners have anything for Mr. Powers? Any questions?
I'm asking, are you anticipating time goes by a restaurant?
Is there a restaurant? We would like to add a kitchen and do food. It makes us more than just, I know a lot of people are kind of scared of the term bar, which even without food, we're not a bar. We'll have snacks and stuff, but we've carved out a space to, as money, comes available, to put in a kitchen. This has been something my father and I put together mostly out of our own pockets because we do believe in the location. We've had a great city to work with, so we feel comfortable that it's, something that can be, one of the crown jewels of Madeira Beach. Will officially be the only brewery on the beach, and it'll probably stay that way for a while because it's hard to put something like that together because it takes space and time and funds to do so. Thank you.
But I was part of that. Restaurant.
Yes, eventually, we want to have the food because that'll keep people there, and you eat food. It's, like I said, turns it from something potentially like a bar into more of a restaurant, which would definitely be more ideal too. But that is definitely on our plans.
Matt, I have a question for you. I've been to your establishment, and it is very nice.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed myself both times. Need to ask, though, like on the weekends, do you plan on having entertainment there?
Yes, we have a stage set up for live entertainment. We can do bands, we can do a comedian, we can do different shows. It's like I said, it's more than just your everyday, I hate to use the word bar, but it's a venue. It could be a small, social venue for all kinds of entertainment. We have plans, hopefully, plans.
Okay.
I also have concerns about your parking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an area for parking?
Yeah, we have plenty of, we've met all the criteria we need for the seats. The spaces we have out back, it's all for our employees. And then it's John's Pass, so all the, traffic that's already there is what we plan to monopolize on in season. And then out of season, it's a ghost town, so we can give back to the community and have something for them to actually come to John's Pass and Madera Beach for when nobody else is. Like I said, craft beer is huge, and it's drawing people from all over the world. But Tampa Bay constantly now is being rated one of the top 5 craft beer cities in the country. So there's a crowd just right over this bridge that's not coming over that bridge. In the off-season, that's who we'll be talking to get them out to Madera Beach.
It's good, but you have a lot of concerns. John's Pass and your father can realize it because he was there. And we used to have the wild, crazy bars in John's Pass Village. Sure you remember, Tom. We all do. We were all trying to get rid of them. And you need to be very careful.
Oh, exactly. We haven't spent all the money we've spent to be a wild, crazy bar. You have a good time when you come there, but it's a different animal. A brewery is something that the community can get around and come up and have a good time, and we can, meet the tourists that are there too. It's not it's not a nightclub. It's not an Ybor City bar. It's a classy, A-plus place. We sunk a lot of money, and we're not selling cheap drinks. Our beers are $5, $6 a pop. We're not looking for that crowd.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. I had pumpkin. Never had pumpkin beer before. But I'll try that.
At a time, John's Pass, I believe right now, you call it a renaissance. There's lots of great new businesses opening up. They're not your same old T-shirt shops, and other than, dive bars, although there's some issues with some of those. But we're looking to step up the game at John's Pass and give it a class act that'll be hard to follow.
But
Matt?
we don't think it'll ever evolve to the situation. Remember when Ybor City first opened? We had all the hefty drinking places, but we also had beautiful shops.
Mm-hmm.
As time went on, they got wild and crazy. No shops in.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Where young kids go, I don't know.
young kids aren't our target audience because they can't afford our
Yeah,
products.
I was
Not to
gonna
be
say, I don't think they can
not to be a
afford it.
snob or anything, but it's like I said, it's like a fancy wine bar or something like that. It's a classier place, and you can sit and enjoy a live music while you have a handcrafted, artisanal beverage. It's not your regular, macro foreign-owned beer. It's something that I put a lot of time and effort and my heart behind to make these things, and I hope people can enjoy them while enjoying each other.
Did you make mistletoe beer for them?
Not yet. I've been too busy building the place. We'll get to that one.
Matt, for those that maybe do not know, could you state your hours of business?
Right now, we're open noon to midnight, and it's mostly dead after that because nobody else is open.
And that's Monday through,
Well, Sunday, we're only open till 8 right now.
okay, so during the week you're open till midnight?
Yeah, it's just we're trying different hours. Those aren't really working. Most of the time, it'll probably end up being Fridays and Saturdays will be till midnight. The others will probably close earlier. Once we do have the restaurant, though, it'll be open as demand sees it.
Any other questions from the commission? Is there any?
Matt. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. There's another day in paradise.
I know, I've been into your establishment too, and I think your cornhole boards are a little slick, but I'm just gonna, I'll work on that later. The wine that you serve downstairs, I know you make that wine, you've had that for a while. Are we gonna let people walk from downstairs to upstairs? I think we've had some issues with that in the past with businesses being side by side on Madeira Way.
Well, we're the same business. It's just an upstairs and a downstairs. It's the same 2 COP. So they can take our elevator, or the elevator, they can take the stairs. It's all the same property.
So they should be able to go under the
property
same
to get
license. I guess what I'm asking is, you've been serving wine there for a while. for
Yeah, we've
consumption.
been doing that we've been serving probably 10 years. We've been making it for 6.
Right. So do they sell just a wine license? Is that what you had, just a wine
Well,
license?
there's a manufacturing license
Right.
for wine, a manufacturing for beer, and a 2 COP, which is the serving consumption on premise.
Fantastic.
So we have all three of those licenses.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I have no problem with this. Again, your employees are parking in the back, right?
Yep.
You're gonna stack them on top of each other,
Yep,
so
yep,
they'll have to
double
move
park
to get
in
out.
there. We'll
I have no
stack
problem
them
with
in there.
stacking, just don't block somebody in that wants to get out.
Yep.
All right.
Is there any further comment? Guy?
13025 Pelican Lane. I live right behind the new business opening. I'm very happy that they opened. It's a nice place, I won't say no. The only concern I have, all the people, they're gonna park in the back and forth. And it's gonna be a little bit more noise than there is right now. And the way he said they're gonna open it, they presented to 9 o'clock to close them for 4 nights a week. Now it's to midnight to whatever goes. If they're gonna present something that they're gonna open up for time to time, I think you should be sure they open it from time to time regardless. And they're gonna have somebody like a cop, a sheriff there that will watch the people going and stumble over the streets at the back there and try to make a noise. That is supposed to. Well, we had the bars on Madeira Beach. We know where it is. Peyton knows it. You know, Mr. Thomas. Harold's bar. Peyton knows it. You know, Mr. Peyton knows it. You know, Mr. Thomas. Arm-headed. Us, the neighbor, got a little bit concerned about what's going to happen. Not tomorrow. Next month or next year. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And Deputy Luckett, would you please come to the podium for a second, sir? Deputy Luckett is our community policing deputy for the city of Madeira Beach. Deputy Luckett, can we have extra patrols placed around there and kind of keep an eye on things so we can kind of keep, report to the commission what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Because of the tourism in that area specifically, and anytime there are events or a crowd is bigger than normal, we put extra patrols in there.
Okay.
So they'll dedicate more time to that if we have a place that brings in more people. Absolutely. I'll say that we have very limited numbers of problems in there. So the enforcement we do in there, we've got plenty of manpower to handle it.
Thank you, Deputy Luckett. Is there any further comment? Yeah, Mr. Powers.
I can understand where you're coming from. You live back there, and there will be, there's always, in the past, it's hard to forget things like that. Again, I can't stress enough how much we put into this and how much we have invested. I'm not looking to do that sort of thing. There will be 0 customers coming or going from the back of the property. It'll all be in the front. The nights that we do have events that we expect large capacity, 100, 200 people, there'll be, bouncer and that sort of thing, or myself, I'm a big guy. I'm not looking to create any issues. It's something it's a word I can give you on that one. As far as hours, like I said, if there's people in the past, we'll be there to serve them, but we're not going to be, like I said, just a nightclub that has issues. We're not in Ybor City. We're a social hangout that adults can enjoy, and it should be, as far as as much as I can control, there'll be 0 issues in that respect. And if you ever have an issue, come talk to me, and I'll do everything I can to make it, good.
Thank you. Is there any further comment? Yes, ma'am.
My name is Wendy Fabrizio. I live at 13019 Pelican Lane. And my concern is I have 2 young kids, and anymore these days, we don't want to go down in John's Pass with our family because of the drinking establishments. And on any given night, you could sit out in our backyard, and we invite you to come and sit in our backyard and hear loud music. So all weekend is filled with loud music. We can hear it from the hut. Sometimes they get rolling, and you would think they were next door to us. So our concern is definitely amplified music, loud music, how late they're going to be allowed to play, and another drinking establishment in John's Pass, because they're everywhere. I mean, it didn't used to be like that. It was family oriented. There, you wanted families to come. I'd like to see some of the t-shirt shops go just because of the slogans that they have. I mean, my kids read, and it's like, don't look in that window, because you don't want them to read those things, but, I mean, I understand that they've put a lot of time and effort and money into this, but, there's people that live on the backside, and we're the ones that have to deal with it. You know, that disrupts our weekend time, that it disrupts our on-the-water living and quiet time. If we just wanted it to be quiet, it's never going to be that way.
Yes, ma'am. How long have you lived there? And just curious.
My parents had a motel next to the Bamboo Bear Garden when I was 12, and we own a place across the street on the water, and recently I've moved back, and that's been 3 years.
Have you ever called the deputies on noise complaints when the music's been too loud?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a record of that, Deputy Leckett. Can you get us that information? I know you can't pull it right this second, but.
And there was I called them probably a month or so ago that there was a break-in, or somebody tried to break in across the street, just walking down the street, checking doors and stuff, and they finally caught him at 133rd. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any further comment? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
Commissioner Lister.
Yes.
Commissioner Poe.
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz. Mayor Palladino.
Yes. Next, Resolution 2014-52. Mr. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Resolution 2014-52, a resolution of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending the City of Madeira Beach Personnel Policies and Procedures, Article 6, Section 601, Holidays, to add 2 employee holidays, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, deleting Christmas Day holidays clarification note, and providing for an effective date. That was a reading of Resolution 2014-52 by title only.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I ask that this commission pass Resolution 2014-52.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion amongst the commission? Is there any further discussion? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
Commissioner Lister.
Yes.
Commissioner Poe.
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz.
Yes.
Mayor Palladino.
Yes. Next, Resolution 2014-53. Mr. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Resolution 2014-53, a resolution of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending the City of Madeira Beach Fees and Collections Procedure Manual, changing the title of Article 2, City Manager's Office, to Article 2, Community Services. Title of Article 3, Community Services, to Article 3, Finance Department. Title of Article 4, Community Services, to Article 4, Fire Department. Adding Article 6, Public Works, removing reference to Article 2, City Manager's Office, creating Article 5, Parks and Recreation, Section B, Recreation Center Rentals, Section C, Athletic Field Rentals, and Section D, Special Events. Amending Article 5, Parks and Recreation, Section A, Recreation. By providing for reading by title only, providing for distribution, and providing for an effective date. That was a reading of Resolution 2014-53 by title only.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that Resolution 2014 be adopted. I second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion amongst the commission? Is there any discussion from staff? Mr. City Manager Pro Tem?
This is primarily a cleanup of the fee manual. The primary intent is to establish new fees related to all the recreation events. Doug Andrews presented the new fee schedule to you at a workshop recently, and this is just a follow-up to that discussion.
Staff recommendation?
Staff recommends approval.
Any further discussion? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges.
Yes.
Commissioner Lister.
Yes.
Commissioner Poe.
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz.
Yes.
Mayor Palladino.
Yes. Next, Resolution 2014-54. Mr. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Resolution 2014-54, a resolution of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending the FY 2015 budget by increasing general fund expenditures for accrued annual leave in an amount not to exceed $3,700 and providing for an effective date. That was the reading of Resolution 2014-54 by title only.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion pass Resolution 2014-54.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion amongst the commission? Is there any comments from staff? Mr. City Manager Pro Tem?
Yes, this was a request from the city manager to deviate a bit from standard city policy, which requires employees to forfeit any time above the cap for vacation hours. So there's several city employees who, again, at the direction of the city manager, have worked extensive hours and, for whatever reason, have not taken all the vacation time that they could have and are at risk of losing certain hours. So those several employees have been identified, and depending on what happens between now and December 31st, the estimated amount for a potential payout, if the city commission approves it, is $3,700 for those employees.
Since you are the finance director and acting city manager tonight, I get to ask you the same question. Are we good with that, Mr. Finance Director?
Again, yes, so this is amending the budget to provide that funding, and staff recommends approval, yes.
All right. Is there any further comment? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz? Mayor Palladino?
Yes. Next resolution, 2014-55. Mr. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Resolution 2014-55, a resolution of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending the FY 2015 general fund budget by appropriating $71,103 from prior year building reserves and increasing budgeted expenditures in the general fund by $71,103 and providing for an effective date. That was reading of Resolution 2014-55 by title only.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to pass resolution number 2014-55.
A motion's been made and second. Any discussion amongst the commission? Mr. City Manager Pro Tem, any recommendations from staff?
Yeah, just a couple points of clarification on this one. First, the amount is different on items 5 and 6, and that's because we did have $15,000 included in the budget initially. This is just the subsequent appropriation that's needed to fund the software. Second, the source of the funding, again, so it's kind of bad news that turns out this was going to be a lot more expensive than we thought. The good news is the funding source is from the building permit revenues, so it's fairly self-sustaining.
And recently, I know we've been creating a reserve with the building permits because we've far
That's correct.
exceeded what was
This will
originally.
almost exhaust that prior year reserve. It'll bring it down to $1,497. But if we find ourselves with the surplus this year, we'll build that back again.
And seeing all the construction in the city of Madeira Beach, I imagine we will be looking at a surplus this year from what we've seen. Is there any further comment?
Mr. Mayor, I would
Yes,
like to
sir.
ask that Commissioner Hodges amend a motion to waive the bidding process, to accept the bid from Tyler Technologies, which is $86,000.
That would be
That's
number
That's a
number
separate,
6,
that's a
yes.
separate item,
The
Commissioner.
next agenda
Oh, I
item.
see. Okay. I take it back, Nancy.
That's okay.
Scared me.
Is there any further comment? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. Next, item 6, authorization of expenditures for the purchase of building software replacement from Tyler Technologies Incorporated in the amount of $86,103. This time I'll entertain a motion.
I will make that motion, Mr. Mayor, that we authorize the expenditures for building software replacement from Tyler Technologies Incorporated in the amount of $86,103 and waive the bidding process to accept that proposal from Tyler Technologies, which we had in the workshop earlier today, explaining why we did this.
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion amongst the commission? Recommendations from staff, Mr. City Manager Pro Tem.
Again, we recommend approval, and we also recommend waiving the bid process because it is in the best interest of the city to continue using the same software that's currently running in the finance and recreation departments.
Any further comment? City Clerk, please call the roll.
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. Next resolution, 2014-56. Mr. City Attorney, please read by title only.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, Resolution 2014-56, a resolution of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, amending the FY 2015 budget by increasing general fund expenditures for personnel reclassification in an amount not to exceed $11,000 and providing for an effective date. That was a reading of Resolution 2014-56 by title only.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to pass resolution 2014-56.
Second it.
A motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion amongst the commission? Any recommendations from staff, Mr. City Manager Pro Tem?
Yes, staff recommends approval. This is another follow-up from the previous workshop when city manager presented the reclassifications in the community development department. The building official will be primarily responsible for permitting, zoning, and code enforcement. And along with that will come a reclassification from pay plan, from step 5 of the pay plan to step 6.
Is there any further comment? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Schatz?
Yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes. And I've been waiting for this all evening because I know he's probably sitting out there watching us. So if you ever wanted to say bad words about Mr. Shane Crawford, tonight's your night because he's watching us on TV. The city manager's evaluation. At this time, I will entertain a motion and open up the floor to the commission for discussion.
I so move, Mayor.
A second.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded, and at this time, I will open up the floor, and actually, I'm going to go and start. I cannot say enough about Mr. Crawford. What he's done for our city has been outstanding. Since I've lived in this city and been involved with the city, the amount of grants that Mr. Crawford's been able to work with from the staff has far exceeded what we even pay the man. What he's been able to do, helping bring new construction in this city, reconstruction in this city. I've spent many evenings with him, meeting with people. So he's not just here from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. It goes well beyond that. I've seen plenty of hours where we're out there till 9, 10, 11 o'clock meeting with people. So he takes this very personally. He spends a lot of his personal time on business for the city of Madeira Beach. And I will go ahead and turn it over to the commission and listen to any recommendations, what they would like to do with his salary.
I'd like to make a recommendation. First off, I want everybody to think in the terms of 35 months. That's exactly how long Shane Crawford has been here. When he walked into our city, I was one of the residents running around yelling, "The sky's falling," and the sky was falling. We were overloaded with crime. It was out of control. Code enforcement was a joke. A lot of Madeira Beach was in disarray. New projects never got off the ground, and old ones never got completed. You only have to look at what has been accomplished in the last 35 months, and you'll know our city manager is underpaid. It's time to change that. It's time to pay our city manager for the skills and expertise he has brought to our city. I would not do this job for 3% a year, I can assure you. However, my husband says I'm in the negative every month anyway. But it's up to us that we pay our city manager for the things that have been done and the things he will continue to do. He has put Madeira Beach on the map, not just on the beaches, but in Pinellas County. I hear it every time I attend a meeting anywhere. This year, I'd like to see our city manager properly compensated. I'm voting on a $12,000 a year raise. All of us who have worked for ourselves only got raises if we worked harder. Shane works harder and deserves this increase.
I'll second that motion.
He does
Commissioner
work harder,
Zimmerman.
and since Crawford got here, the thing about him is what I was waiting for is to see how he finishes projects, and the man just really does a good job. I mean, it's easy to stay under budget when you start any project, but when you stay under budget and on time, when you finish that project, it's simply amazing. And he has done a wonderful job for the 3 years that he's been here. Not only with what he's done, but with who he's hired. The staff is just, it's the envy of all the other cities. Everybody wants to work here. 5 years ago, when I said it to this commission, nobody wanted to work here. I'm talking nobody. Everybody was walking out the door. And now they can't keep an employment application a week. And Vince is going, we don't have anything. I mean, I got people walking up to me, "Terry, can I go to work for the city of Madeira Beach?" I said, "You got to put your application in. Got to talk to Vince." But it's amazing, again, how he finishes projects, not how he starts project, because to do anything, again, under budget and on time is amazing, and that's his forte. That's where he really excels in keeping those costs down for everything, this city hall and the recreation fields. You know, people are in business to make money. They want to make as much profit as possible, and Crawford understands that. And he's working with every one of the subcontractors in this projects throughout the city to make sure that it comes in on budget and on time. And that's the reason I want to pay Crawford the $12,000. I'm fine with that. It's a comparable salary for the work that he puts in. If you followed him from daylight to dark, 16, 18 hours a day sometimes. Seriously, he really works hard. Not every time. Every once in a while we go out and have a beer, but 16, 18 hours a day is not uncommon for him to work, and that's not uncommon money for that type of working to be paid.
Thank you. And I'll also say, he's been loyal to us. I know that St. Pete Beach came up and was massaging him pretty hard. The county came up and massaged him for the county administrative position. Loyalty, you pay loyalty. And Commissioner, you're right, he finishes the projects. He's put together a rock-solid staff. And my only question right now on this is, and Vince, I'm going to have to go back to you, as the finance director, also looking, is this going to leave us in a position to where also we can work with increases in staff, because we have a rock star staff. He put together a rock star staff, and you need to keep this team together to keep our city moving forward.
I can tell you that we will absolutely do everything that you ask us in terms of accommodating salaries or anything else. When we put together next year's budget, we'll take any input, and if that means personnel costs are one of those items we have to absorb, then we can make that happen.
All right, thank you, Mr. Finance Director. Is there, at this time, I'm going to open up the floor. Does it, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. Mike, now the Vice Mayor.
I gotta talk fast with the
I'm sorry.
We're all
I just-
talking fast.
I just wanted to say that the attitude in City Hall, I think, has changed an awful lot, and I think Shane had a lot to do with it. It's more of a positive attitude. People are more willing, like Terry said, to come to work here. They're more relaxed. He's easy to talk to, so they can go into his office at any time and speak to him about anything that's on their mind. And also, as Mr. Spieler indicated also, that, you know, he's an easy man to work with. He's a good man, and I feel like you pay him for what he's worth, he's going to stay. And I do believe that 12,000 is sufficient, and we want him to stay. We've got a lot to do yet.
He's got a lot to do yet.
That's true.
He's a great young man. I'm very fond of Shane. I've been through a few city managers in the city. I can compare him to one man who had 3 or 4 careers, and I wish that he was living to see Shane. That was Ralph Rawson. He had 3 careers, and he was a wonderful guy. He was like Shane. He felt very at home here. And he told you exactly what he thought. He never beat around the bush about anything. You feel very comfortable with him. He handles his personnel wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. He wouldn't ask one of them to do anything that he wouldn't do himself. And that's very outstanding. He's not lost in all the praise that he gets, because he gets lots of people in the city like their city manager. His mission, we have such respect for our city manager, every one of us. And that's a wonderful thing, where you can see what can be done. If you have a commission that works together with a good city manager, look around you, folks, and see what's happened to you. That's why. And it'll roll right along, and we'll accomplish many other things as we go along in the next few years, let me tell you. All around you, you see things happening. All you hear when you're out on the street. Oh, it's just so wonderful. They can't wait to all over. They can't wait till the recreation culture. They can't wait for all these things. He's going just as hard as he can go. 18 hours a day, every day if he can. And I think he probably does that. Secretary's sitting right there, he can tell you. He keeps her going about as fast as he can.
Yes, he does.
But anyway, we respect him, we love him, he's doing a wonderful job for our city. And we'll do well, keep Shane with us, we're like a big team. Everybody can trust him. That's very good. We feel very relaxed in the community hall. Those days are just wonderful, because we've had the other side too. So, we've had all sides. So, it's a wonderful experience that we're having, that this young man passed our path of life to travel along. And all his people that work for him. Wonderful. Wonderful staff. Couldn't ask for anything better. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson.
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry, the city manager has been texting me, and he wanted me to speak for him, if that's okay.
First, he wanted to say, I'm gracious and humbled by how the city looks at me and how I'm appreciated. That being said, I would be happy to work for the city with no increase at all. I'm humbled to be considered for this raise. That being said, I want you to know I'm nothing without my team. Therefore, I ask that the City Commission support me in the upcoming budget by offering increased salaries for my department head team. He also wanted me to let you know that his procedure today was a little bit less than an hour. He has 3 bulge discs, a herniated L5. If what they did to him today, the steroid injections into his lower back, does not work, he will have no choice but to get cell fusion surgery. And it'll be about, I would say, 2 to 3 weeks before he knows that. But he does want to say that to you, that he is extremely appreciative for everything you guys said and did.
Thank you, Gerald. I appreciate you reading that, and Shane, killing me.
So yes, he's watching you.
Yeah, oh, I knew he was. Are you kidding? I know he was.
I just
So-
have one more thing to say. So you guys will know, his evaluation, he got 100% in every category.
I know I caved. I know I caved in.
You caved. I've not fainted.
And that's public record also. And like at this time, I would like to open up the floor. Would anybody like to, any comments about Shane? I'm telling you guys, here's your chance. He's watching. I'd go for it. Doug, I know I can see you right there vibrating on the floor. You want to say something. But I think we feel that the same way. We've watched our city really move the last couple of years here, and working with him as the mayor has been an outstanding experience. You've got a great team of commissioners up here. We've got a great staff, and Shane's kind of the he's like the ringmaster in the center there with the bullwhip, kind of making it move all along. So, Shane, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
So at this time. You know his head is swelling like this right now, okay? Yeah, Shane, I said that.
Man.
Yes, sir, Mr. Wood.
John Lipa, 399 150th Avenue. I can remember when Shane came and interviewed for this job. And I remember, as all of you had said, what was going on at City Hall at this time as a resident. You come in and ask questions, you walk away, as someone I said, like you said earlier, you wanted to fight because you couldn't get anything done, and everybody wanted to tell you what the procedure is, never mind how we're going to make it happen. Shane, just the comments by Shane over the cell phone here speak volumes about this gentleman. I was a former head of human resources for a Fortune 500 company, or actually Fortune 50 company. I can tell you, if you don't reward talent, you soon lose talent. And you have to look at the opportunity cost. If you don't keep him, you have to go and find somebody else. And it's costly to recruit. And this guy is a diamond in the rough. I mean, you need to keep him. $12,000 a year raise, it's $1,000 a month, $250 a week, $50 a day. $50 a day to keep a guy who loves his staff, whose staff loves him, and the city is vibrating under him. It's cheap money. Please do it.
Thank you, sir. Any further comments?
Mr. Mayor, Shane wanted me to say one more thing to Commissioner Poe.
No, we're not going to say anything else from Shane.
He said, I only had one request to have a haircut, exclamation point. I thought that was a victory.
And I offered to give it to him.
Now, that's the scary part.
That's it, I swear.
All right. At this time, well, I guess we're good. Everybody good?
Yes.
Nobody wants to say anything bad about Shane? Okay. Lynn, you want to?
Len Piatti, 513 129th Avenue East. I've been around here for about 21 years. In fact, we moved in December to Madeira Beach. Our family came down here from Philadelphia. Things were different then. I didn't even know where City Hall was for at least a year. Then I got acclimated to the notion that City Hall was the place that I had to go with my complaint and situations. From then on, I felt that things were pretty good because I hadn't had any inside information or exposure. At a little after that time, I became a commissioner. And I interviewed a couple of city managers myself. In the short period I was a commissioner, 2 to be exact. We had, I guess, maybe 5 or 6 during that time period. From the time that I came, Mike Monfield was city manager. So we had some good ones, we had some bad ones. I have to say that the good ones were really earnest and did a wonderful job, I thought. The bad ones, well, you know, so goes. The thing here is that by making the comparison, Shane has them all beat, in my recollection, and my exposure and interface with the past city managers. They made the effort, they tried, but you know, it's like everything else. Some people have it and some people don't. I've interfaced with many of the city managers in the past, and I've been fortunate enough to interface with our present city manager, Shane, for the time he's been here on many occasions. Complaints, concerns. I've always been satisfied with my interface, and my questions have always been answered to my satisfaction. We talk not only of business, but some other things too, and I feel that he has an earnest desire to please. He does make an honest effort and goes overboard in interfacing with people and satisfying their needs. I'd like to follow up on what Nancy and Terry Lister and Nancy Hodges, both commissioners, one had to say that attitude of personnel here, well, I can tell you, we've experienced the worst down in the dumps attitude of any staff. And I think Pat recollects the times that we said, what the heck are we going to do about this? People were just so bad. They were so disappointed as to what was going on. By comparison, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, we're at 10. And boy, I'm really, really happy about the fact that over time, we've reached that point. There was times when I thought we'd never reach the kind of satisfaction and success that we've had in this city. So, you know, it's something that we should be very proud of. As a citizen, I can speak for a lot of others that I speak to, have talked to about Shane. And they certainly do agree with me in my feeling of Shane doing a great job. And I agree he's worth the money that you're providing with him, for him tonight. And I'd like to wish him all the success. And please, please stay with us. Don't think we don't love you, we do. Don't think we don't appreciate you, we do. And I'm just happy that you've done so much for the city. And I'm happy to see that our citizens are pleased with your performance, and things are great in the city. So, good luck, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn.
One more thing. The city manager said
You know, wait a
if,
minute, wait a minute. The city manager goes by the same rules, even if he's texting. He's allowed to say one time.
Well, he just wanted,
can't take
he
the
just
floor
wanted to
3
say,
times.
unless there's a majority
No, no,
vote,
no. You know what?
mayor
Tell
stays.
Shane he's out of order. You're out of order, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah, that just
there you
happened.
go.
So,
Nicely
so
done.
do we do a majority vote on the haircut?
Yep, he says if majority rules, the hair stays, if not.
That's a whole different motion. Let's
Yeah,
finish
no.
this one first.
Oh, I'm not going to go there.
Is there any further comment? Would the city clerk please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Hodges?
Yes.
Commissioner Lister?
Yes, absolutely.
Commissioner Poe?
Yes.
Commissioner Shantz?
Great pride, yes.
Mayor Palladino?
Yes, Jane, thank you very much. All right, next, reports and correspondence. I'll go ahead and like to start that out. I'd like to wish everybody happy holidays from the city of Madeira Beach. Guys, like I said, we've come a long way even this past year, so it's been a great year for the city of Madeira Beach. Don't forget, this coming up Saturday is the boat parade. Also, on December 24th, we have the Madeira Beach is the official city for the Bitcoin Beach Day, which used to be the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. So, I mean, that's exciting. ESPN has already been around the city this week, filming different locations, filming out on the beaches, filming different attractions in the city of Madeira Beach. So all the outtakes during game day you'll be seeing is the same as like if you watch the Bucks game of Tampa, downtown Tampa. It'll be all Madeira Beach. So, I mean, that's exciting seeing our city shown like that. And that's another one I got to, Shane, I got to thank you for that one. And you got to get better because I'm not doing this belly flop contest by myself.
He's
I
not
think
doing it,
I
period.
think that's why he's planned this whole thing, guys. But
No.
once again, thank you very much. Happy holidays from your commission and the mayor and your staff here at City of Madeira Beach, guys. I love you. Thanks. And the other commissioners.
Just Merry Christmas.
Okay. Mr. City Attorney.
I don't have anything tonight, thank you.
That's awesome. Mr. City Manager Pro Tem.
No, I have nothing. Thanks.
Madam City Clerk.
I have nothing.
All right. Seeing no further business, this meeting is adjourned at 7:02.